Hi Virgos, welcome to your reading for 2024. I'm so excited to do a yearly forecast reading for the Virgo collective. Definitely already, I have to say, I already feel like a lot coming at me. And there's this feeling already that I have to sort of um, stay open minded because there's this energy going around of like perfectionism. It's like we gotta be like this, and it has to make sense, and it has to be quick, but also not too long, and also not too short. And it's like, so I know you guys may be a little bit in that energy. It might, resonate with that. So I'm just trying to work myself through that energy. Obviously, I have a Virgo moon, so most definitely I always feel interconnected with what's going on with you guys when it comes to like my internal well-being. But that's just, I'm hearing say less. Okay. I don't know if that's my inner critic or, um first and foremost, we're dealing with an 8 house energy. This 2024 equals an 8 number. So this year is a number 8 for the collective. Of course, we will have our personal number. Then we're dealing with a lot of different things when it comes to like our rising sign. And just overall, this is one of those years where from month to month things can shift and change. And if we are capable of either being flexible with these changes and shifts, or at least have some form of adaptability. And that's also something that I got for you guys for this year. It said the inner strength of adaptability, the inner strength that it takes, or that it gives you to be adaptable to either your surrounding, to your the changes in your emotional body, or your spiritual body, your mental body. It's like being adaptable, trying to stay. You don't have to jump on every shift and change that you feel, or the opportunity that you're getting. That's not necessarily adaptability. It's more like keeping a little bit of an open energy, an open door, an open mind. Just like we don't necessarily have, like I said, have to jump in each and every new opportunity coming in, but we can definitely allow somebody to show you all the details, right? Details, very important. Um, and based on that, and gaining all that information based on that, you can see, hey, I do have to get outside my comfort zone a little bit, but at the same time I feel like maybe I should give this a go. So being adaptable to that is most definitely some inner strength source that is giving you guys this year. It's one of those energy sources you can tap into by having a little bit of an open energy and open mind about things wanting to, change for you guys. First and foremost, there might be some big changes. Okay, some of you may actually move overseas, and you get an opportunity to move overseas. Once again, I'm not saying like, hey, anything that shows up you should like take, because this is the year where you should say yes to each and everything. No, not necessarily, but you will know on an intuitive level, and then based on like the timing it shows up, and it has like you might have like weeks where the numbers are like crazy, and then something like that pops up, and even though there are some questionable things, and you might want to gain some more information, which you definitely should look into. But if the only thing then is holding you back is the wanting to stay inside your hermit mode space of like what you already know, then they're asking you to sort of like, maybe have a little bit of the adaptability, and maybe see if this really is something that is trying to show up for you, and it's actually divinely guided. So those type of opportunities may show up. It doesn't have to necessarily mean that every single Virgo is going to move overseas. But some of you guys, definitely it does show up in that way. For others of you, you maybe meet someone from overseas that inspire you, maybe a community that you connect to, maybe a different culture that you look into, and you really, want to maybe just visit, or just look into deeper. Maybe it is your roots. Maybe you were born in a country that maybe is not your maybe your parents aren't from that country, like they moved there, or they moved where you are at, and maybe you do want to look a little bit deeper into your roots and things like that, is what I'm feeling. It's also the higher knowledge. Maybe you guys want to do sort of a something to do with like learning. It could be school, but it could also be like workshops, or just really doing some research for yourself. Either it's in a certain subject or a certain country, a certain language. Could also definitely be about learning a new language because you might want to travel, things like that. That will definitely start to be activated more and more from around April, because we also have this conjunction in April that is happening between Jupiter and Uranus, and that is activating your ninth house. So I definitely feel that that is going to set something into motion. That's why I'm just mentioning it. I don't know if I already mentioned this. Maybe grab like a piece of paper and a pen and just write a couple of side things down if you feel like, okay, I need to like keep my mind on that this year, or maybe it resonates with you, because yearly readings are just so much energy, and trying to like compose it all in like 30-minute reading, around 30 minutes. So it goes quick. Numbers for you guys this year: 33, very strong, like very strongly around 33. Then we have 22, or like 222, or 2222, anything around twos. And then I got the number 5 very pretty intensely as well. So it's like 3322. And the number 5 could come in like 55, 555. But overall, the 33, the 22, and the 5 are like quite significant for you guys. So I just wanted to put that one out there. All right. I have written down a couple more things that I just kept getting for you, and I will integrate them during this reading. But let's just begin with some cards, because otherwise we'll be here for like 50 minutes and I haven't touched any cards, which is fine. I use my cards as my tools when it comes to reading like this. I hardly need them, but I like them to like sort of guide the energy. Maybe a little bit of a restriction, but in a good way, you know, some guidance. Okay. Beautiful card. You have the card number 10. Okay, number 1. It says it's okay to forget and then remember, and all over again. Return home, lessons and realizations. Returning home, lessons and realizations. Realizations about lessons that you may have to learn. And I feel this is also something to do with some of you. Maybe, you know, your status goes from relationships, less married, into like actually singlehood, and coming home to yourself as a newer version of yourself. It may be a challenging journey, but it's one who's very much beneficial for you. And you learn how to reconnect with yourself on a deeper level. You know, when we are, I don't know, it doesn't necessarily have to be an extreme long-term relationship. It could be like 2 or 3 years. But the person that we are before we meet that person, and then actually the person that we grow into becoming, is another side of ourselves. Still us, just different layers, right? And different surface energy that we tap into. Certain things come to boiling up to the surface and take center stage, and that's the energy we tap into more than maybe the energy we tapped into before we met that person. So we grow, and obviously even if we would stay single and you would grow another 2-3 years, you would also change and shift. So it's a natural process of life, right? Change is natural. So the person who you are, whether it's like a long-term or a shorter-term relationship, you become and grow in a certain way. Then if you step out of that relationship, a lot of times the first thing we want to tap back into is that person, you know, that energy before we met that person, but that no longer seems to fit. And that kind of makes us want to kind of go back in here, because we feel, some of us, not all of us, but some of us feel quite lost in that new role, because there's nothing really to come back home to. But then you realize that there are some core points that I'm coming up, boiling up to the surface again, where you can tap into, that feels like a form of homecoming. And it's okay to forget certain core and things when you are inside of the relationship. I'm not saying that you are completely different, or that it's very natural that you completely forget about yourself. No. Or that you lose all sight of yourself. No. It's just certain aspects, right, that create that form of safety. And especially when you are the feminine, doesn't matter the gender, when you're the feminine in a relationship, it is healthy to, instead of allowing, it's healthy to allow your own masculine to move a little bit backwards. Because when you are in singlehood, your masculine and your feminine, doesn't matter, like I said, whatever gender you have. If you are a strong feminine, your feminine steps up, but the masculine within you as well is like that protector energy, which create these boundaries in like a healthy way for your surrounding and things like that, because that creates a form of safety and security. So then when we are getting in a relationship and we trust the masculine within that other person, it is going back a little bit. And your feminine, comes forward a little bit more, your feminine energy. And to rediscover how to balance your masculine and your feminine outside after union like that takes time. You know what they're saying? It's okay to forget and then to remember all over again. Some of you, it is your spiritual journey. Maybe you really felt disconnected from it. And like years and years and years ago, you were able to like see things beyond. And now you felt like, have the realization of like, oh, I feel so far removed from the feelings and emotions it used to bring me, the peace it used to bring me. And then it's okay to remember all over again, to have a reawakening of that side of yourself. They're saying like, it's okay. It's realizations that bring that energy into movement, Virgo. It's like, oh, I'm realizing how far gone I am of this or that, and how I kind of would like to integrate it into my life more again. It's the realization that reawakens the reawakening. So, reactivates what I'm hearing. Okay. I hope I'm not forgetting too much, because like I said, there's a lot that wants to come true. Okay. What I was getting for you guys as well, and that's why I had a little bit of a tough time starting recording this reading. It took me like a day and a half to be ready. And that's that's the thing, Virgo. I feel like you guys might go through a phase right now where you maybe, your eye for detail and your self-criticism might be a little bit up there. I'm not saying that's 100% negative, but I feel like it brings about more of a stagnation than it actually brings about progress. And I think a couple of days ago, I found like this message, and it said, progress and perfection can't share the same stage. So I'm gonna just like leave that with you guys. Progress and perfection can't share the same space. It is very important you give yourself the grace and the space to do things imperfectly in order to have progress and growth. And so learning to balance those two out, it is definitely beneficial for a year like this. Here we have the King of Wands. Then we have the Three of Cups. We have the Six of Swords. And we have the beautiful Empress. Okay, so where 2023 maybe have been a year where you allowed others to sort of, take you places, show you things, you go with the flow. I feel this year is more of a year where you take off more of like a leadership position. And I think like last year, maybe you went out of your comfort zone a little bit, but allow other people to like, sort of take you to places or new things and new experiences, and you were just open. Maybe not everything was for you. Maybe certain things you already seen before, but you were just open to, go in with that flow. I feel that definitely you gained a lot about that, but you also are now dealing with some backup. How do I say that? When you have a desk and that's the way you work, and people intend to put things on your desk, then the work, and then you don't show up at work for 5 days, the chances that your pile is a little bit higher than if you would have shown up 4 or 5 days straight is quite high. And that's, I feel like, a side of yourself. Things have sort of backed up a little bit, things have piled up a little bit. So I think it's more mentally. So certain things you have to like go through, still think about, still process. And so a little bit of a hermit energy, definitely for January, February is what I'm feeling. But it puts you right in like the Empress energy. So overcoming a flighty energy. Some may have given you some intention of that they were serious, but then they kind of ended up being kind of a player. So it could be a woman, could be a man, or whatever, you know. But you're leaving that behind. It's like, I see. You see things for what they are. You accept things for what they are. You accept, the true colors that people want to show up as. You accept it as it comes. You're not trying to like sugarcoat it or maybe try to like make it. It's like, no, I'm moving from this whirlwind of energy and emotions. I'm going into calmer waters, and with that I find my inner empress, I find my inner anchor, my inner throne. That's what I'm feeling. So definitely is a homecoming year for you guys. Ooh, beautiful with the Chariot. Yes, you are attracting instead of chasing opportunities. Here we go. There's that card with the Knight of Swords. Yeah, you definitely are. Oh, Virgo. Did someone make a mistake to take your kindness for weakness? Oops. That was their mistake. Because, should just put it for a little bit. Let's table that one. I do see that that's a side note. Someone did end up, making a mistake of taking Virgo's kindness for weakness. And then, you kind of had to show them like, oh, no, no. You get that wrong because I am actually, you want to go there, You're real quick. And they're like, yep. They're like, oh, they're learning their lessons. That was a very karmatic lesson for them to learn, to not overstep people's boundaries. They definitely ended up taking from the wrong person. Let me put it that way. Another message that's showing up with this is maybe, just maybe, you have dealt with an ending more of like in a mental way. And I feel emotionally you kind of sort of blocked. There's not a lot of grace. There's not a lot of love towards yourself, patience with your emotional side of things with this ending, because your King of Swords energy is definitely take a center stage. Like, oh, this is an ending. Oh, this kind of hurts. All right, I'm gonna just block that out. I'm gonna go about it analytically, and yes, it makes sense to have this to end or to change this. And I know, I don't really want to, but it's the best thing and it's good. And mentally getting yourself through a situation. So I am sensing that I feel like you kind of fight something. You may have fought this from ending. And that's why I feel like some of your, like the emotional side of it got disconnected. Let me see. Something else is also something that you may It's hilarious. I was sorry, that was more of like an inside joke, but something that you may just allow, to brush off your shoulder, like, I'm just gonna slide on my back, like, whatever, they can think whatever they want, like, I don't care, right? So it's just like, okay, bye. This could even be with your own emotion. It's like, yes, but I don't have any space to feel like that right now. Like, I'm just gonna like not gonna do that right now. The thing is with this card, that's why it made me laugh, because I was thinking about that, and then look what she's wearing on her shoulder. That's definitely not gonna slide off, pain free. So it's going to get stuck inside this, these pointy pointers. Okay, it's very painful. So it's like you try to brush things off, but no, you kind of have to deal with it. So you're dealing with it, and the judgment is here. Like I said, it's an ending of a karmic cycle. The balance is restored. So what I'm hearing with the Justice card, 100%. Who's this? Who is this? The Six of Cups. Maybe you were just finding a source of strength of them not knowing how emotionally, it did actually touch you, and by being able to have them think that all is good and all is fine, and you're strong, and it's like you don't even care. That might brought us a false sense of security, which in certain moments I can definitely understand, but it's not a long-term solution. And so with the Nine of Swords here, it's like you're balancing out the scale. Yes, you're gonna have to deal with some backup, like I said, some backup at work, which is an emotional backup, because this energy of like being analytical, cutting it out, dealing with it, with all the practical things. Like if you, for example, break up and you're living together, all the practical things kind of need to be taken care of. Like either one of you need to find a new place to stay, and with the move, and doing the paperwork, a lot of like mental and analytical sides to that. But then the backup is like the emotional sides that didn't really have a space yet. But when you work through it, it puts you right again into the Queen of Wands and the Six of Cups. So you are definitely reconnecting with a part of yourself that you've lost along the way. It was there, but it was just all the way in the back. Couldn't really tap into that side. You are 100% respecting and appreciating yourself a lot more working through these things. That's definitely something I'm sensing this year. It's like, love that. Two of Swords with the Nine of Pentacles. It comes to Two of Wands, so that's that two again. The Emperor, the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. Oh yes. This is definitely the beginning of some new position in your own life, first and foremost. But you attract, like on the outside, you attract the opportunities, you attract the type of community, the type of people, the type of relationships that are equal to how you're treating yourself. The sweet and the sour. The sweet and the sour of life. So it's not only sweet or only sour. It's like you're definitely bringing about a balance in that. So it's that analytical versus the emotional side of things. And it's the things that you can build, things that you can touch. But too less or too much of one is, it's not going to be fruitful enough or satisfying enough. It is about the balance. This is about the real and imaginary side of things. So finding that sweet spot, that balance between both worlds, that is definitely something I'm feeling. So you have the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Emperor. There's a lot of beautiful equals around you that are coming in this year. People who have similar experiences, who have grown, people who can inspire you, whether some inspire you more up, like to tap deeper into your emotional world and to deal with that in a different way, to heal in a deeper level. Other people may really inspire you when it comes to like the material world. Maybe they have like a career, their own business, and they really build it up from the ground and inspires you, and they motivate you in different ways. So I feel a level of community of like individuals, because they're very strong individuals, but you also reconnect to that individual sense of self. That's not selfish, it's not self-centered, it's not necessarily single person either. It's just a side of yourself that is self. That is not influenced by what others expect, or influenced by how much time people are willing to give you for you and your own life. It's either it brings stuff to the table or it doesn't. And if it doesn't bring anything to your table and it's only there to eat from you and it leaves you with breadcrumbs, gots to go. You're like, no, no, no. This is a table for one now. And I am the only one invited. Okay? That's how I feel like you guys are gonna like gain that sense of balance and strength within yourselves. Very beautiful. Okay, what else for my Virgo collective for this 2024 energy? Infinite abundance. Beautiful. Wow, with the Emperor and the Queen of Cups. It says with Lord Ganesha, beautiful. It says, obstacles are being removed. Spiritual support and connections are increasing. So that spiritual connection, it's that soul to soul connection of finding of a tribe energy. The universe is with you, is what they're saying, and very that deep purple energy is very spiritual. It's really connecting to Virgo energy as well. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. Ooh, that's your spiritual side that's calling and knocking on your door. Beautiful. Okay, Virgos. Let me see if I still have some on my list that I wanted to mention. There's this energy of like the upside down cake for some reason came true for you guys. And I tried to do some research, I know that it's coming out of like the 1920s, like something like that's when it was discovered or first time published. Maybe it's been around for a longer time than that, but we don't know. Well, at least Wikipedia didn't know. They were like, we do not know. But what I'm feeling with that and why it came true, it's like dare to be original. I think it kind of, well, there was two things. It was like either it came from like a contestant, like a baking contest, contest where people had to give a varying or their own inspiration on like a pineapple cake or something like that. And someone actually sent in the original like upside down pineapple cake. It's that doing things, maybe, what I feel around that cake is like maybe someone did it by accident and then it ended up kind of being really good. It could have been going that way. They don't really know. So it's not 100%, impossible. And the reason why I got that was a little bit this year. You may think it goes one way and then it might end up going another way, or you feel like, oh, that's a mistake, it shouldn't happen this way, but actually it brings about something completely new, something completely unexpected, and I think really divinely guided. So if you really put in the time and energy into something, whatever, and no matter what you do, it comes out upside down, then that might just be the way it's supposed to really show up for you. And that brings about maybe a lot more opportunities if you have a little bit of that open space energy. You might be surprised about what things look like upside down. So that is something that I'm feeling, just as a side note. I don't know if it makes sense, but I just want to give you guys that. I think this is, the most things I wanted to share with you guys for this new year. Definitely, I will be, working on more of like the monthlies again for this year. Then, definitely comparing to last year, I definitely want to show up more. So we'll tune in month by month to what it brings us for the Virgo Collective. Because I am a part of the Virgo Collective, but yeah. I love you guys. Thank you so much if you made it all the way up to here. I really appreciate that. I hope it was helpful, was something in there for you guys that, gives you good energy. That definitely is my goal with these readings. And I'll be back soon. Mwah. I love you, Virgo. Bye.